Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, we back at it. Boss in the Sauce Show, week 13. How y'all feeling today?
What's up?
Let's go, fellas. I'm ready to rock and roll. Only a couple weeks left in college football. We still got some good action. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get it.
Man, college football is coming down to it is what it is. I think this year, because of the playoff and the 12, I think in the back of our mind, we all kind of trying to figure out that puzzle of the college playoff 12. I think it kind of throws you off because there's a lot of good matches in there that have nothing to do with that. It has with bowls and all that kind of stuff. So pretty wild card this week. I think next week we get big time rival week.
Started off, yeah. Day after Thanksgiving, you got some FSU, Florida. You got Mississippi State, Miss. Yeah, it kicks it off next week. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I'm not interested in is these friggin' American Conference guys. Nobody wants to win that damn division. Nobody wants to get in the playoff. South Florida last week had them in the first half money line with. So you seen the ticket, DJ, right? I think I posted in our chat. Only thing I needed to cash a 6-teamer for big money was South Florida to win the first half in that game. I had like some dogs and lines up and down the board a little bit, but South Florida, boy, they shit all over themselves last week.
Yeah,
man. They played their game. So
I think who is it? I think it's not ODU, but there's another team that may be able to take it all over, and American Conference won't get that spot. But we'll see how that looks.
It was Memphis the following week, then South Florida got back in the top 25, and then they're out again. So I don't know who is it. North Texas now? Who the heck knows?
It's North Texas is one. And it's like a Sunbelt team or something like that as well.
Sunbelt, and then the Mountain West where you do it best. We got big game tonight with over at Allegiant. You got Hawaii taking on UNLV. It's going to take on the winner of that. It's probably going to be not the winner of that, but if UNLV takes care of business, looking at San Diego State, getting back in the race. I don't know if Boise's got a shot at it or not, to be honest with you. But.
Yeah, the Mountain West, the way they kind of stagger, they kind of chop each other apart. Boise's still the top-rated team. They just get higher quality athletes at the end of the day, so you can never really totally count them out. But they're having one of the worst seasons they had in a long time. So yeah, Mountain West, I think
a lot of parity right now. A lot of parity.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm really looking forward to is when they do come out with the playoff 12 to be able to use what we went through all season and what we learned to be able to separate the frauds from the real teams and how it's going to really pan out and really, really make some money right then. That's when we got to go up a couple units and we got to fucking really, figure it out, from the best of our ability. But let's get into it, though, man. We could talk about this all day. We can make a whole show on the atmosphere of college football because it's a wonderful thing. As a matter of fact, my dad told me, he said, man, he's through with college. He said, it's all on me. It's on you. I can't do it. It's too
unpredictable. It's a big blurred line right now.
Yeah. And then I said, then he called me the next day and said, hey, put me down for this and that. As I said. But speaking of my pops, man, my wine time, you showed out for my pops. My pops was like, man, that wine time guy, man, he's immaculate. He has a confidence. He said he was talking about a couple of weeks back. He said he came in and said Texas Tech, and Texas Tech what it was. I said, oh man, yeah, I had to downplay you a little bit. I said, you Costa Mesa guy.
Oh shit, that's funny.
No, it's all love though, man. But let's jump into what we came here for. Many of y'all followed us. Y'all already know what's up with the biscuits and gravy. Just in case you might be new or something like that, it's a big contest at the Westgate Superbook. It's the first ever college football pool that we're in, where our name in the pool is Biscuits and Gravy. And we kind of do the biscuits and gravy thing to start the show off every week. Some really solid picks. We've been up and down for the season in Biscuit Gravy. This has really been a learning process, to tell you the truth. I'm excited already for this year, because how you go about it, the games you pick, doing contest plays a little different than just,
Absolutely. We've been juking and jiving all season. Figured 2 picks apiece, consensus plays. It's been like a big process, but it's been a lot of fun. That's for damn sure.
It absolutely been fun, and it's been like you already got all your plays and your Twitter posts and all that, but then you have the biscuits and gravy that you like. Yeah, man, we really want to hit that 7-0. But last week, shout out to us, 6-1, baby, 6-1. We did what we were supposed to do in the biscuits and gravy. But thinking about next year, we definitely gonna have to figure out how to get more 6-1s and definitely hit one of those 7-0s. But it's not too late for a 7-0 this year. But let's jump into biscuits and gravy, y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Get me hungry.
Yeah, every time makes you think about biscuits and gravy. But I tell you the truth, when I sit down to the restaurant and all the stuff on the menu, I'm not ordering biscuits and gravy. But I love the biscuits and gravy, baby. Let's jump into it. It's already spread out. We got wine with the first 2 picks. The Iowa pick, we're just keeping the train rolling with Iowa. We've been doing well on the show. I really need to go back and do the numbers on how we did with Iowa this year, because Iowa has did outstanding for us. They're in a favorite spot right here. And after playing a team like USC, you already know. And then we got 2 picks from my man, Big Ragu, and then I got the last 2 picks for you. Let's roll it out. Wine time. Wisconsin plus 7.5. I like the pick. I looked at it, the Wisconsin team in the last few weeks have been playing better and better. Fickle is solid. The players are believing in what's going on right now, and they're playing a team like Illinois? They're playing Illinois in this one. And hey, how'd you get there with Wisconsin plus 7.5?
Yeah, similar to Iowa, guys. Wisconsin's been cashing us tickets all year long, whether you're taking the under on their games. I mean, it's 5-0 to the under the last 5 games. It doesn't matter how low the total is. Always seems to go under because they can't score. A couple games ago when they won, their passer had the most yards was their punter with 13, and they still won the game against Washington. It was incredible. It was crazy. That defensive front from Wisconsin, that's why Luke Fickell still has a job there. He's recruited the hell out of it, and he knows how to get these guys ready to go. This is one of the best defensive lines, I mean, in the nation, honestly, especially against the run. I think they're going to be able to hang tight. It's senior night in Madison. It's a night game, guys. This is 6:30 Central Time in Madison. These people, they're going to be partying. From what I've heard, Madison, Wisconsin gets kind of wild down there in the tailgate. And so I think these guys are going to be rocking and rolling. It's senior night. A lot of these kids, it's their last game. It's the last home game at least. So give me Wisconsin here. I think they might beat these guys outright. I got a +9. 7.5 is I'd still take the 7.5 though.
I like it, man. I definitely looked into that game, and like I said, it winked at me right there. I like Wisconsin. Like I said, they're locking in with Fickell. You are an atmosphere guy, 100%. If you say the atmosphere is right, I like it and I love it. Next pick, UCLA Bruin. Big Ragu, you got anything to say on Wisconsin?
No, I mean, it all makes sense to me with the whiskey in that spot right there. And then they have been, like I say, early on, we see these soft schedule, but Wisconsin has been up against it the whole season. They've been in the bottom rung of the ladder of the Big Ten. So now, this is an opportunity to kind of finish the season on a high note, put a couple strong showings later in the season, like you said, vote of confidence with Fickell. So I think that they kind of build on a little bit of momentum. They have solid play going in. Hope they're not going to be bowl eligible this year, but I think couple high notes for them to finish the season strong. So I like the spot here with them getting plus again.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? To think about it, just freestyling that it's got to be a thing with planning out those last games for Fickle with the players because of the transfer portal. You want to keep those kids there. So a good win, even though they're in the position, no bowl and all that, would definitely lead towards positive things next year. But I know all of our fans out there, they already know the deal with UCLA and my man Weinstein or whatever. But Weinstein, give us the UCLA goods. I heard good things about this game as well, too. Give us the UCLA goods.
Oh, give me UCLA here plus the 10.5 points here. Washington is 1-7 straight up last 8 games at the Rose Bowl. I was actually at the last time they played at the Rose Bowl when it was Michael Penix against DTR. I was right there. It was a sick game. UCLA was a 2.5 point dog. They won outright. It's the year where we thought UCLA was maybe going to make a big run there. And this was one of the games where they took out Penix, and it was really cool atmosphere. With that being said, Jed Fish, now the head coach. A lot of people are saying he's the odds-on favorite to be UCLA's head coach. I want UCLA to beat this guy so he isn't our head coach. I want him to stay put in Washington. I don't want him over here in Westwood. I want James Madison's head coach over there. Bring him to Westwood and let him bring over his staff and his personnel and see if he can build this program back up. With that being said, I'm on UCLA here. I think this is a lot of people. If you look everywhere right now, I mean, 95% of the cash is on Washington, and the line is not moving, guys. I mean, they've been proving that they can't win at the Rose Bowl, even though there's going to be maybe, it's senior night, so there might be like 40, maybe 50,000 people there, but it's only going to be halfway full. It's not going to be a crazy environment by any means, but I think they're going to be able to show it on the field. Nico will be ready to rock and roll in this one, passing concussion protocol. Give me UCLA plus 10.5. I hope they win this game outright.
Yeah, big emphasis on Nico in there. Nico's performance in this game is going to mean everything in that one right there. And funny that you say about the coaching job at UCLA. I was listening to some stuff it was a while back, as a matter of fact, and they were talking about taking a job in Westwood, taking a job in California. A lot of coaches, depending on where they come from, whatever, they're not with it because even the cost of living, what type of home you're going to be in, and all of those things play a factor in it. Taxes. I mean, they were going really deep into how, let's say, being the coach of Indiana or being the coach of UCLA makes a big difference. Like, like type of lifestyle that you live and how much it's going to cost you. But let's keep it moving. The Iowa train is back, minus 17. I haven't really looked into the game. I just really watched the USC game last week. And I think that the type of speed, the type of explosive, I think they learned a lesson from playing USC. Even though they won the game and all that good stuff, and, they were up at half and, all the stuff that played out in that game, Iowa learned a lesson like, man, be explosive, make big plays. And I think it's going to be to the betterment of their team, especially with the way that they're moving the offense. And I'm pretty sure my man, Big Ragu, he probably loves the over in this one. What you think about this Iowa game, Big Ragu?
Oh, man. Listen, one of my best angles the past 2 years, and I say it week in, week out, every time on the show, is the Iowa team total over. They got the over in the first half last week. It was 20.5. They got the 21. And guess what? They kind of pumped the brakes in the second half because they didn't really do a whole lot of nothing in that second half. But, like you said, they got the team total over last week. Now we're laying a big, big number, 17 this week. And the team total is way north of like 29 points here. So getting, I would say uncharted territory, but this is a team, when they kept putting these team totals at like 20.5, 21, 20, 22, 23.5, I'm all about, I might pump the brakes a little bit this week on Iowa with the team total because I think they're going to lean back on their defense, what they normally do, but they're going to go out and score points at the same time here. So I like the Iowa side, but I do like the team total. I think their defense kind of steps it up. And, they got some big games coming up in conference, especially with the big one at the end of the season. So I think they're going to lean on their defense a little bit more this week, I think, guys. So look for Iowa to get in shutdown mode. The Iowa we know of old to get it done defensively early on. And then, they'll pull away late in the second half. So give me the 17 with you guys.
I like that. And Wayne, what you got to go on the Iowa? I know that was one of the picks you brought up. How'd you cap it down, or are you just rolling with the Iowa train?
I mean, guys, if you guys watch me talk college football, you think I'm an Iowa fan, not a UCLA fan at times. That's just how high I've been on this team all not just this year, last year. I love Coach Kirk, love Parker over there. I love that whole coaching staff and what they've been able to do. And you've been able to tell in the games against Indiana, Oregon, USC, talent was way better, but that was the ultimate reasoning why they lost those games, because of the personnel. They don't have the resources that a lot of these other teams do, but yet they were right there hanging tight. We were on Iowa last week. We cashed with them. Didn't cash the money line ticket, but we still got that +7, and we've been cashing with them all season long. Why stop here? They're going to be pissed off. These kids want to continue to play. This is senior night in Iowa City. This place is going to be going crazy. It doesn't matter that they have 4 losses. Is that what it is now? 4? I think it is, which is crazy. Or 3 or 4. With that being said, I think they're going to blow these guys out. Take the alternative line. Take the -21.5. Take the team total under for the opposing team. Iowa's going to beat these guys like 37-6. Like Michigan State, this isn't a good football team. Jonathan Smith, I've respected him, what he did at Oregon State, but he hasn't been able to translate that to Michigan State these last couple of years. And I don't know how much time he has left there, or even as a head coach at this point, because he hasn't done a really bad job with Michigan State. So give me Iowa. I think they're going to take care of business.
I like it. Let's jump over into this Georgia Tech game right here. Georgia Tech goes to see Pitt. Pitt coming off that Notre Dame loss. I love me some Brent Key. I love me some Haynes King. I love me some Georgia Tech, but I like Georgia Tech as a dog versus ranked opponents.
Yeah, better
these type of 50-50 games, which this one is not really a 50-50 game because Pitt's kind of like stuck their nose in the sand. But these type of games is where they don't perform as well. But my man Big Red Goose says, scrap that.
Go in. You know why? I give you my not my main reason, but one of my key reasons. When everybody was talking about that Notre Dame Pitt game last week, and Narduzzi says it doesn't matter if they beat us 110-0, we got Georgia Tech on deck. But nobody was talking about the Georgia Tech team last week when they were playing Boston College, and that kind of went off the radar. And they barely escaped with a 2-point win against O'Brien's club last week, and they were looking ahead just a little bit in that spot too. But the big thing for me here with this Georgia Tech Pitt matchup, Pitt's defense is very legit, guys. I think they give up like 90 yards a game on the ground. So the key matchup for me in this spot here is what Haynes King going to do against the Pitt defense. Now Georgia Tech can give it up on the defensive side too. Now Pitt's offense is not real prolific, but they've done some nice things, and they're going to get some opportunities to move the ball down the field against Tech's defense. But I think the big spot here is going to be, Haynes King, what he does on the ground with his legs, and if he's able to kind of manipulate, some of the play behind the front seven on the Pitt defense. I'm not going to say it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a one-possession game either way. I truly believe that. But, Georgia Tech getting a nod here, not the extra prep, but just kind of, with all the hype going behind this particular game here. And coming out of that little beatdown that Notre Dame gave them, I don't know if this team's going to be able to pick themselves off the mat. They'll be ready to play, but I think Georgia Tech, I got to give the edge of Georgia Tech momentum-wise, offensive-wise. The defense, I lean the other side, but I think they're just going to will this game on Haynes King's back. He's going to be the difference maker for me in this spot here. And less than a field goal, it's got to be a play. Like you said, not normally a spot. I'm really big. I like Georgia Tech, unbelievable against, getting points, outright wins, in that regard with Brett Key. But I think this is a must-win game for Georgia Tech. This is a program win. This puts them in, national. This puts them in the playoffs if they win this game here.
Yeah, we cast for Georgia Tech a few weeks back, and Haynes King in the senior role was a part of my cap, and it it prevailed. But let's keep it moving. Great value right here with Missouri +7 and a hook, which is always good to have that hook in your pocket. In this one right here, but this time they're facing the Oklahoma team that we talked about. Oklahoma last week We said Mateer hands should have been, back together, whatever. Well, the thing about this game, and I'll say I haven't betted it, but I think the over is live in this. I mean, the under is live in this game because both of these teams have some of the top-ranked defenses in college football. Period. Yeah. So it's got a big-time defensive game. But the part that I like about Missouri and what Big Ragu got going on with this one is that Missouri can actually get paid on the ground. And teams that can get paid on the ground they have way longer longevity in the end, just for a simple fact that if you have a good run game, you can close the game out better because you're able to run the ball, use the clock, get the first downs. So having a run game is a way bigger asset. The run always opens up the pass and vice versa, but the run always opens the pass. So
I'll segue with that a little bit. I'll segue about the run game. So evidently that was the Achilles heel for Alabama against and the credit to Venables and that Oklahoma defense because it's legit, right? It's not a fluke. They exposed Alabama for what they were on the ground, and they just took advantage of that wholly, and they made them pay dearly with it. Where come back to this week, with Coach Drink and his squad, they're going to be able to. They'll have a better effort, I think, on the ground, to a more balanced attack. They don't have the wide receivers that Bama had, but Alabama became really one-dimensional in that game and got exposed really, really bad. And they were able to kind of, make things happen. Not in a high-scoring game, which we seen was under. I think we're going to see the same type of game here out of both defenses, but I think you're going to get a more conservative effort, ball control with Missouri here. And the under, I really like the under better than I like the side, but getting that 7.5 is really, really strong. Especially after that big win with Bama. The only way to play this game would be Missouri.
I'm with you. I can only be on Oklahoma. I mean, they played and that defense last week against Alabama was incredible. Brent Venables, man, he's I like the spot here, especially Oklahoma coming off that big upset. Mizzou getting 7.5 points. Both these teams are very much in it to still make a college football playoff if they go win out and win 9 games, which is kind of crazy. But that just shows you how much the committee is going to love the SEC here. And I think this is a big one. You can definitely hang within 7.5 points. So I do that with 7. And then let's move on to SMU. Doc, are you on this game or is this DJ Big Boss?
I think this is DJ Big Boss.
I'm back. This is me right here. LSU, SMU right here. Louisville often lost to Clemson and Cal. This could be 3 in a row for them. And I'm usually like tiptoeing at teams that are approaching 3 losses in a row. But this SMU team is that team that could sit you down for that extra 3rd win. And I think SMU gets there. Obviously, they're favored in this game right here. They're the home team. All apply, senior night, everything that you could add to that. And, this Louisville team coming down to Texas, that has a lot to do with his Texas football versus Louisville football, which makes a big difference, or, Kentucky football versus Texas football. And we must say, Texas football is kind of ruling right now in the Big 12, at least with Texas Tech. And this SMU team, this team was ranked higher than Louisville from the beginning of the season. And they're hanging there. And this is my dark horse team. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that this was my dark horse team. And I'm going to stick in there with my dark horse team at this one. -2.5, staying away from that 3 makes me feel comfortable. And I'm taking SMU in this spot. Last but not least, you got one on that?
There's 3s on the board in that game, by the way. There's already some 3s popping in. Yeah. I was looking at the market, just one note, and I don't know what market this is, but one of the markets – has Louisville with about 25% of the bets, but Louisville with only 25% of the bets, but about 90% of the cash on the side. So that might be a very public book right there.
Let me check this out if I can pull up on my end for this SMU because I'm interested in this one. I'm actually thinking I'm seeing some 4s pop up right now. Wow. I'm trying to find the market here in this game. SMU, who are they playing again? Louisville. Here we go. I got it for you guys right here. Wow. Here's telling me something different, though. 72% of bet, 64% of cash on SMU. Circa has a 4. There's multiple books right now that are hanging 4s, which is meaning, yeah, there's some public and bigger bets coming in on SMU, but they're moving it for a reason. I think SMU they take care of business here in this game against Louisville. They're the much better team here. You guys know how much I like Rhett Lashley as a head coach. I think he's if UCLA could somehow offer this guy a bag, man, he could revive any program. Look what he did at SMU. They extended him. He's a man of his word. He's going to stick around there for a couple more years. I like the SMU look. I'm going to be on him right there with you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it one time because I don't think we said it one time on this show, but
baby. And hey, this is a guy that knows how to win in the ACC too.
Yep.
But moving right along,
like they were right there in the playoffs the first year in with him, right?
Yeah.
So,
USC
that's college playoffs, not the ACC playoffs. That was the national championship picture. So, a little down year for them, but they're down a little bit, but they're not out.
Exactly, and a lot of that has to do with coaching, play calling, so far and et cetera. And he's primed out to play in spots like this, especially with this team coming off a bad loss to Clemson. So I think SMU is the right spot in here. But moving on over to USC.
Back weeks.
Exactly. USC, Oregon in his last spot right here, USC plus 10. I just couldn't stay away from the 10. I mean, this is really an old Pac-12 rivalry right here. Nothing, I mean, other than recent success and inflated numbers from blowouts and all that kind, nothing really proves to me that Oregon is a 10-point favorite in this one. Yeah, they're a good team. I like Oregon. I like what they do, but USC can put up points. It'll be an old school Pac-12 matchup right here. May come down to a touchdown or a field goal, but I think it stays away from 10. But USC has nothing, I repeat, nothing to lose in this one, as if the winner of this game right here definitely becomes bowl eligible. So USC, Lincoln Riley trying to hang on to his job. I mean, they have Makai Lemon, and they got the Lemon Lane thing. They got the quarterback that could do it. I mean, they have everything equipped to do it, but Oregon also has a great running game, the way that they run between the spaces. They can throw the ball. They have a defense. I think, other than Notre Dame's defense, to tell you the truth, I don't see a lot of super stingy defenses in college football. And Oregon has good defense, but it's not super stingy. You can find your way through that. And the speed and the talent that they have at USC, I think, can exploit some of those and move the ball and score. The over is live in this game, but I like USC with the big points. Give me the 10 points in that one in the contest. We got a little value on that one. And that's it right there, fellas. Y'all got anything on this SC? Y'all diving in some of this fun? Over. It's not even late night. Over, yeah. Over.
I love the over here. I think even though we kind of, we got Southern Cal as the pick on the side, they're going to have to score points regardless, to get to the number. And I can see this game being close to like 70 points with ease, you know what I mean? So even though, like you say, Oregon's defense is stingy, I see SC scoring at least 4 touchdowns in this spot here, and the other team probably gets 30 some odd. So this is a 70-point game all day long.
Oh, and I forgot the other point that my man White might agree with me too 100% is that this is a California game right here. These kids played each other at Modern Day and Bosco and Orange Lutheran and all the different schools around here. All these kids get recruited to Oregon. Yep. The ones homebred, they try to get them to SC. So this is a California game. These teams are familiar with each other. The DBs and the corners, they know what's up when they get on the line. So that helps in USC favor too in covering the 10. So I just think it's just a bad line. If you really want to tighten this game up, I might give this game a 6.5, maybe a 7, but 10 is pushing it with.
I think SC's sitting like right at 8 wins right now, and then I said early in the season I see a path to 10. They always have that one game though that kind of trips you up, and then so for them to get to 10 wins, they would have to win out. They play UCLA the last game of the season, Juan's team. But if they beat Oregon, they'll get their 10 wins. But it's still live, very live. Anything can happen.
Winner of this game has a ticket to the college football playoff, in my opinion, because they might not even go to the Big Ten title, but they'll have 10 wins in the Big Ten against each other. So it's big time for USC here. I don't think they win this game. It's going to be a tough one. It's funny. You mentioned Orange Lutheran, Big Boss. Shout out to them for beating Bosco last week, the biggest upset in Southern California high school football in like 30 years. They were 2-8 and beat the number 1 team in the nation. Crazy. Just crazy. So shout out to them, man. They're going to be playing tonight against Carson Palmer's Rancho Santa Margarita. We got high school football kicking off here in 20 minutes, guys. A lot of good games.
Friday Night Lights, baby. Let's go.
Friday Night Lights. Yeah, and just for my boys over there at Brothers and Bets, my man Marley and them, just so you know, yeah, California has not regained their own athletes. Most of these top players from Orange Lutheran and Bosco are going other places. Texas,
show me the money.
They are not staying and going to USC nor UCLA. So we still got those athletes going everywhere. But that's another subject. Let's move on to our guy, NC33. Last week, my man took another loss, man. He took another loss. He's 8-6 overall right here on the Boston the Sauce Show. And he got a little something for y'all this week. I kind of like it, but I didn't want to get involved with that game. But I like what he got going on. Let's check out my man, NC, all the way from North Carolina, right here to the Boston the Sauce Show. My man, NC33. Salute to you, my guy.
Oh, come on!
Okay.
That was my team last week, Northwestern.
That's going to be a good game, Northwestern, Minnesota. A low-key slept-on game that no one's really talking about, but both teams are doing exceptional compared to what people thought they were going to do before the season.
Great game, actually.
Yeah, and I thought about the way that Northwestern performed against Michigan and playing this one at home. Well, actually, I think their home field is actually damaged, so they play somewhere else. But
that should have been a W for them last week.
Yeah, they got a shot right there. But moving along to our personal plays right here. I'm gonna jump on this one first. Hawaii UNLV. I think Cat's already out the bag. Got more Hawaii in this one for a lot of reasons. Like my man Winetimer said, there's gonna be a lot of Hawaii in the house. I mean, it's a close travel for Hawaii fans to come on over to Vegas, and they like hanging out in Vegas like that. And this UNLV team, I like what they got going on, but the defense is so porous. You know, I in this game right here, I had to give it to Hawaii, who has a slightly better defense than UNLV. They both can put the ball up and score some points. I'm not always happy to lay 64.5 points, but the over is absolutely live. Probably will have over first half. They're going to score at least 35 to 40 points first half, probably. The way these guys just fire off the ball and throw. If it does go under, it's going to be because Hawaii's tearing up UNLV and actually stopping them on defense. So I like this one right here. Hawaii, I actually got plus 3.5 on this one early, and it's all the way down to 2.5. Yeah, I got Hawaii plus 3.5. So I'm going to go ahead and book that. Hawaii is coming on in about an hour, less than an hour. Yeah, 7:30 my part, 10:30 on your time. And I'm on Hawaii in that one. And I'm a UNLV guy. Like, I like UNLV guy offense. I like the way that they move the ball. I like that they cause a lot of turnovers on defense. But just watching them the last few games, the defense, whatever the last coach left there, it was on the offensive side, because the defensive side, they don't have the will nor the way to stop people on the run, on the pass. I mean, they just basically out there hoping to catch a turnover some way, somehow, or just let them score the touchdown. So I'm right there on Hawaii. Let's keep it moving. Next game up, I was interested in this game too. I'm not sure whose game this is. I think it's Big Ragu. But I like this. Probably going to be senior night right here for Pavia, And we talk about a Kentucky team who had a little recent success, but basically been kind of like skimming the bottom of the conference all year. And this is a big chance. The number seems kind of high, but Vanderbilt applies pressure all the time, and they have a great defense. So Kentucky got the work cut out for them going into Vanderbilt in this situation. I don't know what we get out of this Vanderbilt team after Pavia leaves. So I say savor the moment right here, and I think they should win by 20, to tell you the truth. They should run out of here blowing them out unexpectedly. Pavia should go crazy in the first half and put up at least like 21 points themselves. Maybe Kentucky sneaks in a field goal or a touchdown against the Vanderbilt defense. But this game is kind of mapped out right here for me. But Big Ragu, you pulled this game up. Where you at on this spot?
I'm not crazy about the 8.5. I think it opened up a little bit higher. So Kentucky definitely took a little bit of money here, guys. But the play I'm coming up with is, they got, like you say, we got 2 games left. They're still ranked 14. Do they have a shot to win the SEC? Probably not. Will they be an at-large team? Probably not. So, I mean, we're talking about, bigger bowl type scenarios, winning out, with some positive momentum. Like you said, probably it's going to be one and done up at Vandy this year. But, they are very capable offense. Kentucky, not bad defensively. They had a big win at home against Florida recently, going on the road in Nashville. I like Kentucky. I like Vandy to put some points up in this spot, though. I really do. I think they go north of 30. I think their team total is sitting right now at about 30 and a half. So I can see them putting up between 34 and 37 points here. So I really like the Vandy team total over. Now, the total itself has kind of been moving up, so that's kind of a positive thing. So they're expecting points. But we're looking – this could be a good backdoor opportunity for Kentucky. Then again, like you said, they can win by, 2-3 scores in this spot. But either way, I think Vandy puts points up. So I think they go north of 30. So I like the Vandy team total over the points here.
Man, if I could have it my way, I would just say like Pavia. I mean, I've watched this guy career from New Mexico State to Vanderbilt and all that he's done. I mean, he's not very tall guy. He doesn't have like a high ceiling in the NFL. I'm really expecting to see him like in the XFL or something like that eventually. But he's a really, really talented game maker. If his family is there and everything, I think he plays his little heart out tonight. Like
I'm not gonna say he reminds you of a TiVo, but he's that type of guy. He's the guy he's a rah-rah guy. He's the guy that puts the team on his back and wills the win for him.
And
he'll win. I think he just kind of steps on the gas a little bit here.
You know who he reminds me of? Jeff Garcia from the 49ers.
Jeff Garcia.
just a little guy that's just willing to win at all costs. But the thing about Pavia is if he gets up on you, he keeps his foot on the gas.
Yeah, I see that.
He doesn't like regressing for no reason. Like he doesn't have a flat part of his game. Like every series, every down is to score. You know what I'm saying? So I like Pavia and I like over that 37. I say the score might be something like 42-17 or something like that. But yeah, they have fun. They have fun in Vanderbilt.
They've been scoring, 45, 70, 55, 31, 45. The only time they didn't score more than 30 points at home was against Missouri. And in that game, they only put up 17-10. They won the game, but they didn't.
Yeah, and Missouri defense ranks where in the SEC? Yeah, right.
They're up there.
Yeah, exactly. So let's keep it moving, man. Let's jump over to one of Wine Times game right here. Baylor at Arizona. Now, this Arizona been sliding by the cheeks of their ass week in, week out. Last week, I was so happy I laid Cincinnati first half -3 because they definitely came up and lost that game in the second half. And the same thing happened. The same thing happened with taking Arizona the prior week. I took Arizona the prior week full game, and they came through clutch in the second half. So Arizona definitely looking like a second half team. But it's my man Brent, old San Jose State coach. He's well rehearsed. If he get the right group of kids, he can get the best out of them. But I mean, are they tired? And are we waiting? We've been waiting for Baylor to perform. we've been waiting for Baylor to be the Baylor. I mean, I think Baylor at the beginning of the season was 10 on offense, 9 on defense. You talking
They're
about
up there. This
all
offense is still way up there. They just
Yeah.
haven't had the W's to go with it. You know, the covers anyways, we should say, right? But
yeah,
their
but
offense is good.
as a better, I feel like this is a spot where you take Baylor plus those points. And I hope it comes down to a field goal. But Baylor could outright get the win and kind of knock Arizona back down to earth in this one. But this is my man Wine's game. Where you at on this one, Wine?
Let's keep it short and sweet here, guys. I'm on Baylor plus the 7. I mean, and look at this high total for a reason. Baylor hasn't been able to stop anyone all year long. Arizona's defense has struggled at times, but we know they can score. Give me the over, but also give me Baylor plus the 7 points. I think Sawyer Robinson and Dave Aranda are going to come up with a good game plan to go out there and get a win here. They need it. They've been in so many close games. I mean, don't forget when they gave up a 14-point lead to SMU with 4 minutes to go, lose it in overtime. 14 points with 4 minutes to go. That just shows you the game's never over. That's so crazy to me still to this day. And Baylor has just – they haven't been able to stop anyone, but I do believe in David Aranda. I don't think he's on the hot seat. I mean, he can't be on the hot seat. It's not like, I mean, which one of these coaches is really going to want to go to Baylor? I mean, this guy's the perfect – I think this guy's a good fit for him. He's going to have to start rebuilding, though, because a lot of the guys that he came into this year, you mentioned it, DJ, a lot of returners, a lot of seniors, and he's going to lose a lot of those guys. So hopefully a lot of these other guys that have been with the program stick around and they can be competitive in the Big 12. But I think they can win this game outright at Arizona. I think that they have the guys to do it from an X's and O's standpoint. I can get with Baylor and get with the market. Line's not really moving. Money's more on Arizona. Give me Baylor here.
Yeah, that's correlation too with that total. You know, that's a good look there. Getting the catching points, because they're going to get their share of points in this spot here for sure.
Yeah, a lot of recency bias in that with Arizona right there too. I like that spot right there for you, Wine. Let's keep it moving. Next up, this game, my man Big Ragu and myself is on right here. And
you lead it off, man. You hit lead off.
I mean, the market spoke on this one. Sharps, everybody kind of. This line just looks totally inflated. Like nothing about. I talked about Utah last week. I like the backup better than I like Dampier. And Dampier's playing this one. And this Kansas State team is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They can step up and play great games on defense. Is where they do thrive on defense, not so much on offense. But this could be a defensive battle right here. Utah doesn't show anything on offense at sometimes, and Dampier is still dealing with could be injured or not. You know, they still, the coach over there at Utah, he's going to play the line with, and he's been doing this for years now. If my player's playing, if he's healthy, if he's not, yada yada yada. A lot of guys are getting upset because there's no penalty for not adhering to the college football rules of displaying your injured players before the game. This guy wants to go in between. And I think it catches up with him right here against a Kansas State team. I think this is the first time these two teams matched up right here. So this is the Big 12 play. I don't see Kansas State taking a blind look at Utah. I see Kansas State bringing something to the table a lot different than Utah might be expecting. Same thing like Texas Tech. Texas Tech came to Utah and just played a game that they weren't used to playing in Utah. And on top of that, Dampier was, middle injury, and they took total advantage of them. I think K-State could actually come here and do the same thing. Like, we don't take dogs that we don't think can win outright, and Kansas State could actually win this one outright. It would be the biggest upset of the day. It would spoil Utah. It would give Texas Tech the keys to the Big 12, which all the money they got over in Texas Tech invested. If there was some conspiracy theory to why Kansas State beat Utah, it would be because they wanted to make sure Texas Tech got into the college football playoffs this year. New stadium, new everything. So this thing is just smacking Big 10, Big 12 play right here with Kansas State and Utah. And the number is just way too high. 17 and a hook? That's crazy. Got to take Kansas State plus 17.5.
Speaking of Texas Tech, that was Kansas State's last loss. They won the last 3 out of 4 games. They beat TCU, they beat Kansas, and a sleepy game last week against Oklahoma State, right? They were giving up 19.5, and they only won 14-6. So I'm not saying they were looking ahead to Utah because it's been a weird year for the for Kansas State this year. They, Kleiman is a very good coach. His name's been on a lot of different teams at the forefront, but he's committed to that program, and I think he stays. And like you said, 17.5. I go back and look. If you go back and look at the look-ahead line early August, you know what the line of this game was? Kansas State -1.5. So it's been a disappointing year. Obviously, the line telling injuries and all the other stuff that's going on. But you know what? Certain teams, like I was saying earlier, they start coming around like the latter part of the season, and that's just way too many points here, guys. I know Utah. They're a different team at home. They like to play up, and even their quarterback situations has kind of been like seesaw all season long. So I think Kansas State is a viable dog here, and a lot of these wins that they've had. They've covered like their last 3 games, or I say last 3 out of 4 out of 5 games are underdogs, and they covered, and they've actually won 2 of those games. So will they win this game up in Utah? I'm not saying they'll win, but I think they're a live dog here, especially like you said, 17.5 points. So it's all about the number, guys, for me on this one.
Yeah, this is a real classic better spot, plus 17.5. A lot of sharps jumped on it. A lot of guys in the industry are talking about it. Everybody just agrees that that's a really high number. Moving on, BYU at Cincinnati. Now, me being on BYU all year and taking Cincinnati last week for the first half, I had to bow out of this game gracefully because if I had to pull the trigger in this game, I could only really pull BYU. It makes sense that Brock Meyer wearing the number 47. He just looks like an odd ass quarterback, and nobody likes BYU because they just look odd. But like I said, the week when BYU smashed on this show, that they just find ways to get into the end zone, and they could easily do that against a Cincinnati team who plays pretty decent defense, but the offense is not nothing to really stir up. But I stayed off this game because, the people can be right because BYU, like I said, is like a luck of the straw for the most part, even though they're a really well set up team, greatly coached, a lot of plus size to it. They play really great defense. They play a bend don't break type defense. So at times you think like, they're soft, but let them get you in the red zone and watch them stop you. And this game is bananas. I kind of lean the under on this game as well. But what you on right here, big wine time? This is wine time game, right?
Yeah.
I am on this game. Yeah. Guys, currently sitting right now, we've got 92% of money on BYU. Line's not really moving. They're going on the road against a Cincinnati team that's been pretty impressive. Other than the last 2 games, this team was looking like they had a path to the college football playoff and a Big Ten Big Ten title appearance. Things took a turn the last couple of weeks. With that being said, I think it's a perfect get-right spot against a BYU team that I've been fading this year that I've lost a ton of money doing. You mentioned it, boss. You made money backing them. I've been fading them, and I have just been taking it every single time. This BYU team is good. They've got one of the best head coaches in all of college football that's not talked about in Sataki, and I like everything he's doing over there. I'm getting 3 points with Cincinnati. Paid a little juice at the -120. I think they're going to be able to compete on senior night at home. I think Scotter Field's going to have his guys ready to go here. Give me the +3 for Cincinnati. I think they win this game outright and ruin BYU's chances of going to the college football playoffs.
Hey, like I always say, I hope it's rebate night. So I hope you get your rebate on Cincinnati and BYU right here. For you. Anything on that one, Ragu, before we move to the next?
It's a pass for me.
This next one, I believe, is your game, Big Ragu.
Which one is it?
I gotta go get somebody from the door real quick. But Tennessee, Florida.
That's yeah. We're talking swamp action, baby.
Go.
Night game in the swamp, right? I know you're well familiar with what happens in a swamp. So for me, this is just an emotional play, more or less. Billy Gonzalez. I know they got to play Florida State next Friday, so I'm not going to say there's definitely no look ahead here because these are going to be the last 2 games that Gonzalez is going to coach. He's through and through a true Gator. He came up during the Urban Meyer days, so he's been on staff all these years over there. and these kids are trying to rally around this coach. Now with Heupel's squad, it's kind of been not so much of a bust, but it's kind of been a disappointing year for Tennessee. And Florida has been a team that's kind of, we know they had the toughest schedule, coming out of the gates, and it kind of proved itself, with the fire of Napier and whatnot. But I just like what Florida's going to have going on, rallying around the coach. The seniors are going to play. We're going to start talking about portals, players leaving, that kind of thing. That ain't happening right here, guys. This is a game where Florida's going to bear down and catch a little lightning in a bottle, build a little momentum going forward for that FSU game the following Friday. So not to take nothing away from Tennessee, but this is just – it's not a fade on Tennessee. This is just a play on Florida and a spot play in the swamp on a Saturday night, in a pretty emotional game. This is a game they used to play early in the season. Every year they played this game like Florida's third game of the season. It was just a traditional matchup. Now it's kind of took – not that any luster has kind of gone away from it, but, with the way the season has gone for Florida, especially Florida, I think emotions on their side and more motivation on their side here. So give me the Gators catching the points and sprinkle on them, too, to win the game outright.
I'm with you, Doc. I want Florida. You know what? You just pushed me over the edge on this one. I'm heading into the fire here with you. You talked about it. It's going to be in Gainesville, guys. This is going to be rocking and rolling despite their record. Will the Thrill Gonzalez is going to have his guys ready to rock and roll for this game. Last home game, senior night. These guys should be ready. I think they're going to show up here. And this is kind of a fishy line. And we're seeing 62% of the money on Tennessee, 58% of bets currently where I'm looking. Line's not really moving. Give me Florida. I think you could sprinkle the money line. I will say what's interesting here is, have we seen a total this high for a Florida game all season long, 57.5? That's crazy because this is such a good defense. Something tells me there's going to be fireworks in this one, and they're going to be going back and forth. Joey Aguilar, I've mentioned it all season long. He struggles in these hostile environments. He ain't used to it, and this is going to be a crazy environment despite Florida's record. Give me Florida here. I'm with you.
Yeah, it'll be 90,000 maniacs screaming in the stadium. Trust me, that place will be rocking.
Yep.
Nice. Let's keep it moving. Last game on the card right here. Woo. I have nothing to do with this one. UConn at FAU. Got to be the man with the Miami Vice shirt on and on the screen right here. It's got to be his game right here. Tell me what's going on right here, big guy.
Hey, this is a play. This is not a fade. I love what Morris did. This kid, the quarterback from UConn, I don't have his name. It just flew right out of my head, and I have my notes with me. But if you know his name, if you go back and look at his TD to interception ratio, I mean, he's probably the best quarterback that no one's ever heard about. This kid from UConn has been putting up major numbers, right? And then the thing about the Florida Atlantic team is they've got the youngest coach in college football. He was a Houston Baptist guy that went to Western Kentucky. They always take that route, it seems like. Guys that come out of Houston Baptist go to Western Kentucky. The quarterbacks, the coaches, it's just like a channel. But anyways, FAU has been one of these teams that they run a high-tempo offense. They don't play any defense whatsoever. So their whole program right now is built on the offensive side. I think we see a shit ton of points here, guys. UConn is going to light up the scoreboard. FAU, I think they're going to get their share too. 64.5 is a tall number, but it's kind of going to be like a sleepy game with a noon start in Boca Raton. So I don't think UConn's going to get – I don't think they get blindsided. But you know what? I'm going to take Florida Atlantic on the money line here. I think they kind of pulled the upset. They haven't had a key win all season. They haven't had that big win. It's late in the season. Like I said, going on, they were talking how potent this offense was going to be. They didn't live up to the billing early, but they're starting to turn the corner a little bit. They're starting to be a little more competitive in these games. UConn had some key victories. They knew early on when they had that BC game that they went on the road 2 games ago, I think it was. And then last week, was kind of they played Duke, tough game. This game here is a sleepy game for them. I think FAU plus the points and the sprinkle here is a good shot. It's a tall number, 64.5, but I think it bodes well for FAU. The number shows it. So give me the +7 and sprinkle money line on FAU.
Sprinkle for my man Big Ragu on the show.
I'm sprinkling on the Florida teams this week.
You heard it right here first on the Boss and the Sauce show. You know, sprinkles on Florida and Atlantic and also on Florida. But we have reached the end of all of our plays right here. I don't have any extra plays to give y'all because I think I'm just going to play the smorgasbord route this week because the plays that I locked in, they locked in. I like a lot of other plays, but I'm not as confident, so I'm probably going to do half units on a lot of these other plays. I even like what you're saying right here in the over in this game right here. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm going to be right here on the Boston Sauce Show for the week. I'm not going to be featured anywhere, but Big Ragu, let them know where you're going to be for the week. Let them know what you got going on. Let them know where they can find you.
We got I do have one extra play that I like a little bit. You know, we haven't really talked about Army a whole lot this year, you know, in certain spots maybe, but we're going to get on an Army under with Tulsa here. I think we get a real low scoring game. I think the number's set at 45.5. I capped the game like right around 37, 38 points. So you get a little better in touchdown value according to my ratings here. So I think Army gets the win. They might cover them. They might win like 24-14 type of game, and I know they're favored by 10. So no value on the side, but I see big value on the under. So I like the under in the Army Tulsa game, 45.5.
Nice. Now, Wine Time, you know you are your favorite capper's favorite capper, my man Wine Time. Let them know where you're going to be. Let them know where to wake up and see you in the morning, where they can catch you during the week, and what you got going on, Wine Time.
Yeah, shout out to you guys as always. Love talking college football with you guys. Shout out to everyone that's going to be watching this. We're not live, but shout out to everyone that's watching us break down these games. We're going to make you some money. We went 6-1 in biscuits and gravy last week. We're going 7-0 this week. We're going to make that happen for you guys. Find me on the tailgate tomorrow, 7 a.m. over here on the West Coast, 10 a.m. over there on the East Coast. We're going to be breaking down our best bets. Always invites, always welcome to my guy Ragu and DJ Big Boss. And just shout out to everyone that's out there. Follow me on X, Wine Time Sports. Appreciate you guys, man. Let's cash some tickets. We only got a couple more weeks of regulars. One more week of regular season college football. Then we got bowl games. Then we got the playoffs. The playoffs are going to be fun, guys. I'm excited for that. So I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to you guys. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be capping the cappers in that show tomorrow. So catch me in the chat. I won't hop on camera, but I definitely will be capping the cappers and be over there.
I might make a cameo with you tomorrow, my brother.
There we go. Yeah, and wear another Miami shirt. You know what I'm saying? They kind of early in the morning.
I got a few.
I
got some of the Tommy Bahama stuff I got. You know, break it out. Yeah. Throw a little fedora on. Cover this chrome dome I got.
Yeah, no, let them shine. You shining right now, so let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
I'm always shining with my two guys. You guys make me shine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But I guess it's my turn today, huh?
There you go. Bring it home, baby. Bring it home.
My turn. It's my turn. I'm not even ready for this. Hey, yo. Hey, check this out, y'all. Remember this. When life gives you lemon, you must make lemonade with sugar or salt. It doesn't matter. But believe in yourself. Bet on you. And can't nobody lose your money better than you can lose your money. That's all I got to say, and I'm out of here.
I love it.
Thank y'all for joining us on the Boston Sauce Show. We out of here.
The Boston Sauce Show.
Boston Sauce Show.
Boston Sauce Show.
Boston Sauce Show. Here we go.